When I first started to research Tobias Wolff, my interpretation of the short story Bullet in the Brain was based on his feelings of his father and his wishful thinking. As I read and reread the story, I began to conclude that it might not have been his father in the story at all. I now believe that the character Anders was a form of Tobias himself, if you will, a character created to purge the memories of his childhood, allowing him to heal and become the successful man that he was. Tobias was not one to focus on the negative, and his writing may have helped him to see the positive and leave the negative behind. It is for this reason that I propose Wolff created the character Anders in A Bullet in the Brain to purge the memories of his childhood, to leave his mind free of the past. Tobias's life was difficult. He had a con artist dad and a mom who bounced between violent men. Wolff left home to join the army instead of finishing high school. Wolff became a model of his father, lying, cheating, and stealing himself. He also learned from his mother and father how to tell stories. Although his childhood was filled with horrible experiences and pain, it may have given him the informal education that he needed with which to write. I propose Wolff created the character Anders in A Bullet in the Brain to purge the memories of his childhood, to leave his mind free of the past. Tobias fled California to live with his brother, Jeffrey, after the marriage of his mother to a man named Dwight. It is here that he realized Jeffrey's love for books. At this time, his brother and he bonded over the love of books. They would discuss their own works, and they would even help each other with their manuscripts. Without a high school degree, Wolff's education was limited, and therefore he joined the Army. He was a member of the Secret Service, and he fought in the Vietnam War. He served in the Vietnam War. During his time in the Army, he became first lieutenant. In Bullet in the Brain, sardonic Anders gets to the bank late, only to discover that it's being robbed. As Anders' inability to keep his mouth shut gets him into trouble, the robbers shoot him, putting a bullet into his brain. As the bullet travels through his brain, his life does not pass before his eyes. Instead, it's a fleeting memory of a day in a baseball field with a bunch of boys, and the phrase, "they is." Anders does not remember his dying mother saying of his father, "I should have stabbed him in his sleep." Anders did not remember the surprise of seeing college classmates' name on a jacket of a novel after reading a book. And he did not remember when he began to regard the heaps of books on his desks. He grew angry at writers for writing them. His life experiences are the basis for his books. Wolff claimed that books are the basis for his life, only embellished. It is for this reason that I postulate that Tobias Wolff created the character Anders to represent the man he was and could have continued to be if it was not for his love of storytelling. Anders' cantankerous attitude, off-color remarks, and ill humor could be a representation of the way in which Wolff handled his childhood. He created characters within the story to act out his actual feelings. The short story written by Wolff, Bullet in the Brain, depicts an understanding of the life of Wolff and makes the reader question the content of the story. Wolff stated, "My stories are life events embellished." After reading Bullet in the Brain, one can wonder if the story was told to him by his father, or if Anders is the character with whom he can express his thoughts and his feelings from his childhood. Could the bullet in Anders' brain and his untimely death represent Wolff's purging his childhood memories? Did he want only to remember those of a typical childhood? Tobias Wolff once said, "Memory is funny. Once you hit a vein, the problem is not how to remember, but how to control the flow. After reading Bullet in the Brain, I am inclined to believe that Anders was the way in which Wolff controlled the flow of the negativity in his previous life. He demonstrated his tendency to be like his father through Anders' personality and his wanting to change by not recognizing the memories of this past. By purging the unwanted memories of his past, he is only able to remember those of a typical childhood.